Hello everyone, this is a short demo highlighting the new features introduced in the latest open source releases of k0rdent KCM, versions 1.1.0 and 1.1.1. In KCM 1.1.0, the following new features were implemented, such as new API for state management provider or automatic update of stack Svelte's token. But the key features we want to introduce in this release is custom certificate authority support for private registries. For the full list of features, bug fixes, component versions, and other important release details, please refer to the release notes in the KCM repository under the respective version. The patch release 1.1.1 contains a critical bug fix to resolve issues with using private registry CA certificate secrets in the Svelte's configuration. In this demo, I will walk you through deploying KCM on a single node k0rdent management cluster using a custom private registry and binary server secured with self-signed certificates, which I have configured beforehand. To demonstrate that both the registry and the k0rdent server use self-signed certificates, let's verify them using curl. Here is the URL of my registry and the URL of my k0rdent server, where all the k0rdent binaries are located. To deploy k0rdent with private registry overrides when the registry is signed by an unknown certificate authority, the CA certificate must be trusted by the management cluster nodes prior to the KCM deployment. This ensures KCM can securely download all private artifacts. For k0rdent-based clusters, it is sufficient to add the CA certificate to the system trust store on each management node. In my case, I copy the CA certificate to user local share CA certificates and update CA certificates. Let's move on to the management cluster deployment on k0rdent. I already have k0rdent binary installed on my server. Let's start it and copy the kubeconfig. Looks like all the k0rdent pods are up and running. And let's move on to the KCM installation. But before installation of the KCM, let me show you the values that I'm going to use. Since I want all the artifacts to be downloaded from my private registry, I should override some images. And also I must provide the name of the secrets containing the CA certificates for my registry and k0rdent URL. The secrets itself should follow this format. Each secret should use the key ca.crt and be created in the system namespace, which defaults to KCM system. Okay, let's proceed with KCM deployment. For this demo, I'm using a custom management configuration. Let me show it to you. As you can see, I have pre-enabled vSphere, Cosmotron, and Project Svelte's providers only, since I want to deploy a vSphere cluster. Also, I configured the value of the Svelte's agent image to force it to be downloaded from my private registry as well. Let's create the management object and wait for it to be ready. Okay, looks like the management object is ready. Let's check the pods. Let's check that all the images were downloaded from my private registry. Okay, looks like the KCM was deployed and we can move on to the cluster deployment. First, let's create the vSphere credentials and let's create the vSphere cluster. You don't have to provide any additional parameters to the cluster, Everything related to registry and k0rdent configuration defined in the management object will be automatically propagated to the cluster deployment. Okay, the cluster is ready. Let's download the kubeconfig and check the pods. Almost all the pods are up and running. Let's check the images. Yeah, as you can see, all the images have been pulled from my private self-signed registry. To get additional information about this or any other KCM feature, please follow the official k0rdent documentation. Thank you for your attention.